Excellent. Here we go again, everyone. Welcome back to the inaugural session of season 6 of the Mercenary Guild. I'm really excited to be back. Jordan, I'm glad to have you back at the table. Man, well, great to see you as well. I am pretty pumped to get into it. So I'm not going to bloviate. I'm not going to talk about all the things I want to talk about. We're going to get right to it. And we're going to start, as we always do, with a little round robin. And during the round robin, we like to do four distinct things. The first thing we do is introduce ourselves. The second thing we do is share with one another in the world our pronouns. The third thing we do is introduce our characters. And the fourth and final thing is offer a vivid aesthetic description of our characters so that they may live in each and every one of our brain holes. Because I like to vividly hallucinate on the internet with my friends for 2 to 3 hours at a time, 6 days a week, often multiple times per day. And today is no different. So, without further ado, Jordan, welcome back, and please take it away and show the folks at home how it's done.
Okay. My name is Jordan. I use he/him pronouns. I am playing Analog, who is um, a centaur, but his lower half is modeled after a cat. So,
A cat
it
tar.
yes, I'm not calling it that.
A
uh,
centine.
I could take centine.
Okay.
um, you've ruined my train of thought. Okay,
That's
so
man, it's on me.
he's a he's an Econite fighter. Um, he has brown skin and he typically doesn't wear a top. So the fur runs up through his chest. And he's his markings are modeled after a tiger. So the black stripes run up his arms. His lower half is orange, as well as the black stripes.
Odd.
He has brown eyes. Uh, and his hair is braided, and in its braid, there's multiple braids. Kind of just falls down his arms, and it goes to about midway down his back. Uh, but he has it pulled back into a ponytail. It still falls that far.
Nice. Any visible weapons or armaments or armor on his person?
He has a long bow on his back,
Okay.
strapped there. I think that's about it right now, though.
Okay. Lovely. Beautiful. Thanks, Jordan. And well, take it away.
Yes, hello. I'm Manuel. I also go by the he/him pronouns. And I'll be running Tabaxi Bard, College of Eloquence, goes by the name of Curtis Drummer, usually just Drummer. Everybody who sees him knows in the first moment why he goes by that nickname, because he has really a large set of drums that he's carrying around with him. He's a rather slender figure. I mean, he's a tabaxi, so he's feline too. A very thick, honey-colored fur, very, very pleasant to the eye. The whole appearance when he starts to speak. I mean, he's College of Eloquence. His voice is so much more beautiful than mine.
I don't
He
know. Are
also
you
just
sure?
even more
Even more.
cute.
Yes. Very good. That's
Yeah.
good. Yes.
He wears a loose baggy pants, but just for the sake of everybody not getting unnerved that there's a cat without pants around. And then he has a huge like kind of scarf, very colorful. Um, well, he isn't a bard in the traditional singing, performing kind of way. It's more spoken word performances with him that he accompanies with his varying sorts of drums. When he goes full drum set, he has a very cat-like way of playing it. Some with his hind paws, some with his front paws, and then the hi-hat is always done with his head, a little head motion there. So It's like old ladies in the audience always go, "Oh, it's just like my cat at home."
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not so sure if he likes it, but as long as they're paying and adoring him, it's okay.
Same.
Yeah.
100% same.
Hmm.
Similar question: any weapons or anything that stands out besides the various drum accoutrements?
Well, he has a rapier and a couple of daggers. The daggers he has on him all the time. The rapier just comes on when he has the feeling that he might need it.
Okay. You might need it tonight.
Yeah.
Lovely. Very good. Thanks, Manuel. And that just leaves me. It's a tight group tonight. DMing Hadley, he, him pronouns. I will vividly describe the rest of the world for you because I get to be the rest of the universe. Yeah, let's get straight into it. I'm going to drop you guys a little map of Faerun in the chat. And boop, 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 boop. I'll paste that in the video later as well. You have been moving together towards Refuge Bay across the jungles of Chult. And the reason that you are part of this exodus is that the mists of Ravenloft have begun to spread across the lands to the east, moving westward. And most of the individuals on the Wild Coast, Halrua, a number of lands to the east here have been just absolutely displaced. And as you are making your way westward, you can see that there are small parties. Most of them seem to be families or tight knit merchant groups moving whatever they can bear to carry or put on a wagon or put on a mule's back to make it to Refuge Bay. You have heard that there is a armada of ships that have been helping refugees get out across the Shining Sea and northwards into the Sword Coast. And you, too, are unfortunate members of that exodus. As you look ahead, you can see that you're sort of coming around a bank of mountains, and as you look to the southwest, you see three plumes of smoke carrying on the wind, and those are, as one would expect, the peaks of flame. Looking between those two mountain ridges, you can see through the dense trees the reflection of sunlight on water. And you see many a person beginning to doff their clothes and jump in, and people are splashing around and actually having a very pleasant time. You can hear children laughing. You can hear people giving a sense of ease, realizing that they are at Lake Luo, just south of Refuge Bay, and not far from their salvation. Can I get a perception check from the two of you as you make your way to the edge of the tree line and look out over this caravan of folks?
8.
Oh, muted. Control D.
That's a 14.
Okay. Analoth, what are you doing that's got your attention so captivated?
Someone is not watching their children. I'm having to be very careful not to step on them.
Yeah, I love that. I think we see scampering children, running, dripping wet, still clothed, around, and one of them makes a beeline under your legs, and a couple of other kids run up and sort of bump into your side. And as you're sort of paying attention to them and trying to keep from clawing or getting run over by these young children, Drummer, you look out and see a large bubble bubble up far in the middle of this lake. This lake is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet wide. It is a huge basin here, and several hundred feet out is where you see that bubble sort of pop. And nobody on the coast up to the north seems to really be noticing. They are paying attention to their kids. There are guys who are walking away from their wagons and rinsing themselves off, dressed and undressed. There's just like everybody focused on what they're doing. And then you start to see a ripple under the water. And you understand enough about frequencies and vibrations and movement like that. You can see that those lines are starting to move towards those people on the coast.
I'm well. My voice is trained in carrying over other noises, and I love to speak to lots of people. So I will use a performance check
Great.
to announce to as many people as possible there is something in the water. Stay calm, but get out of the water in a quick but orderly fashion.
Great. Let's start with a performance check. I like that idea.
It's a 17.
Okay. And now roll me a persuasion check as well.
hmm That's an 18.
Lovely, nicely done. As you begin to boom, we see the kids nearby, sort of startled by the volume of your voice, and as you begin to look over towards these folks, I mean, there are many, many, many of them on the coast here. You see a woman. She's got her skirts up and is sort of waded ankle deep into the water. And she looks out and points and screams. And as she does, you see more people and the din of their shouts. They did not follow your directions to panic, but they did follow your directions to start getting out of the water and are doing so in a hurried fashion. You see a couple of horses rear up and begin to whinny. One of them breaks loose from their reins and starts running back into the woods. But you do see this crowd starting to clear from the edge of the water. And Analoth, as you see these kids scamper off and see this woman pointing towards the middle of the lake, it is pretty undeniable now. There is sort of a wave building in this V shape moving towards the coast, and it looks to be maybe 10, 15 seconds from curling over and washing up onto the shore. What do you do as you are made aware of this, Analoth?
Uh, I think I want to move away from it.
Okay.
I'll
How
follow where the other people are going.
Yeah, how far back do you move? You're maybe 30, 40 feet from the tree line here. There's sort of a grassy beach that drapes off into, at first, sort of sandy, murky water, and then gets a little more rocky as you get down into it.
I'll go about 10 feet from the tree line.
Okay. As you begin to back away, we see a lot of these people in a very panicked state begin to rush back into the trees, and many of them moving northward, others eastward, just to get away. And there's actually not many folks left sort of outside of that tree line, when you see this wave curl up and begin to crash down along the beach. Can I get a dexterity saving throw from Drummer and a dexterity saving throw with advantage from Analog, please?
That's a 20.
Nice.
17.
Nice. Very good. Drummer, we see this wave start to like crash into the shore. And as it does, we see you sort of like caught up by it. And then almost as soon as it washes over, we see you buoyed by these drums with bubbles of air caught underneath them as you pop back up, and we see your fur wet and dripping. And Analoth, we see that wave crash, and as you sort of grab a hold of one of the trees, the last of that water sort of gently washes past you, just splashing up the tree onto you a little bit. But as it recedes, you see something horrifying. And that is what looks like a draconic head up over the water, and it's beginning to look around for something to feast upon. And as it does, it catches the scent of the two of you and begins to make its way towards you. It's about 60 feet away from you as you see a second head on a long, scaly neck rise up out of the water, even closer towards you. Let's roll for initiative.
It's an 18 for me.
Okay.
6.
18. A 6.
I just wanted to really wait my turn.
Yeah. Yeah, you just dig your claws deeper into the tree, I guess. This should be pleasant. And by pleasant, I mean pleasant for me, and we'll see how you guys do. What's the bonus? Aw, no, that's just a disappointment. Fine. Fine. Wow. Drummer, you're up first as you see these two heads starting to look around. And one of them, like, makes this hissing, growling sound, and the other head, like, looks at it and then turns and looks over, and both of them are looking one at you and one at Analoth, about 30 feet away from one another. And you see another small ripple as the body of this thing is obviously still moving under the water. What would you like to do?
First thing, so I don't forget it. As a bonus action, I want to give bardic inspiration to Analoth. I mean, at the moment, I look miserable. It's just a cat drenched in water. So but still, I ruffle my fur a little bit. I turn to Analoth and I say, we got this. We almost drowned, but we're ready to face this. I mean, I try not to let him feel the massive doubts that I have about this, but so I instead give him bardic inspiration.
Excellent. Is that a D8?
That is, well, let me. It's a D8, and
Excellent.
it's within the next 10 minutes
Great.
he can use it. And how far away they were? You said?
About the closer head now is about 30 feet from you.
Okay.
The farther one is another 10 feet, about 40 feet. and about
Hmm.
10 feet away from the other head.
It's well, I'm going out on a limb here already with my first action. I'm trying to cast, or I'm casting hideous laughter
Nice.
at the first one, and hope that it has a sense of humor.
Lovely. What do you say to this thing?
Well, now you got the cat wet. Um, I hope that's all that you wanted to accomplish this morning. Look at my fur. I was beautiful once, and now I almost look like your mother.
Nice. Is that a save on their part?
It's a wisdom 16.
Okay. I've got great news. I've got great news.
Hmm.
The two heads look at one another and then look back at you, and then both of them sort of like curl up their muzzles as they aren't quite sure what you said, but obviously take it as a offense at first. And then the head on the left, the one that was looking at you, starts to like snort and chortle, and you see it. The whole neck sort of like gets involved in that laughter, and the other one's looking at it with like questioning disdain. It doesn't understand why he's thinks that's funny, but he is laughing, and he is currently not a threat as he starts to like rear up, and is just just almost like flailing around. Analoth, you see this happening. Do you have something else, drummer? Analoth, you see this happening. The other head is just like sternly looking at the one that's doing this wacky inflatable tube man routine. What do you do?
I think I just want to shoot it.
First, which one? And second, please be my guest.
I think I'll shoot the laughing one.
Okay. You will have advantage on this attack. It is considered to be helpless currently.
Okay, is that advantage on the hit or on the damage?
On the attack.
Okay. $18.
Yeah, 18's going to hit for sure. What's the damage on that?
My longbow. So let's see. It's a 5.
5 total.
Yeah.
Magnificent. You will also get sneak attack on this since you did have advantage.
Okay.
I think that's just
It's a 6.
just a d6. Excellent. So 11 points of damage to get things started here. Very good. You shoot that. We see its head sort of rise up, and as it starts to roll back, we see that arrow hit a couple of feet from the base of its head. And as it pierces the scaly skin of this creature, we see blood spurt out of that arrow hole, and see that head start to reel, now not in laughter, but in anger. And the second head that was not laughing moments ago screeches a high pitched scream, and do 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 do. Let's see here. Yeah. That's its basic reaction there. Anything else for Analoth?
Uh, yeah, I'm gonna shoot it again.
Okay. Pop it off. This one will not have advantage.
18 to hit.
18 is going to hit, though.
It's 10 damage.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah, we see your cat claws on the bottom still holding onto the tree, and then just see you unleash two quick shots to this neck, and it begins to reel angrily, and it's their turn. Let's see how everybody's armor class works. The first attack is going to be an 18 versus armor class against Drummer.
Yeah, I have just a 14.
14. That means that you're going to be bitten
Mhm.
for 9 points of piercing damage as this thing comes down and just chomps. And you hear leather on the heads of one of the drums tear. And realize that those teeth that went into it didn't go into your gut instead. Uh, but you do feel a couple of teeth
Mhm.
pierce into your shoulder and behind your left arm as this thing clamps down and then pulls itself back. And then you see this very large body start to rise up out of the water as it moves closer towards the two of you. The second head chomps out towards Analoth, and that is going to be a 13 versus armor class.
That doesn't hit.
This thing goes towards the tree, and we just see you move just enough out of the way that this thing ends up getting a mouthful of bark, and it just pries a big chunk out of this tree and twists to the side and just hurls it back into the lake. And it is your turn. Oh, no, sorry, Drummer, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
How close to me are they now?
There's one head that is currently pulling back from you right now. And you can see that the body of this thing is now about 30 feet away. It is a dark, deep, almost black blue. It's like the tops of the scales are almost mirror black, and the part where they rub together has this polished blued steel sort of coloring to it.
Because I want to cast Thunder Wave, but it's only a 15-foot cube. Would that at least get one of them?
Yeah, that would definitely get the head right in front of you,
Okay, but
for sure.
so but, yeah, but before that, as a bonus action, I want to use one bardic inspiration die for unsettling words, and I just tell them like, oh, you're just a pair of glorified eels. I will cut you up and put you in jelly, and then eat you as a disgusting breakfast.
I like this. This is good.
Yeah. So I got one. It's 1d8 that they have to subtract from their saving throw.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I cast. I'm desperate here. I mean, this is just a creature out of my nightmares. I cast Thunder Wave at 3rd level.
Nice. Very nice.
So that's it's a con 16 saving throw for them.
All right. Let's see here. That's a 16 on the die. Plus 5 for their Constitution saving throw is 21. So you've got to roll a d8,
Yeah.
and you tell me how much to reduce that.
Oh really? Oh no, wait. Oh, it's just a 2.
Yeah, as this thing starts to back away, what does it look like when you cast this thunder wave?
Well, the thunder wave is actually I inhale, I exhale. That it's like a growling sound, but yeah, it's really just a cat just about to pounce on its worst enemy, and and it erupts from basically just my gut. It's not even a vocal thing. It's just more something that can be felt. Um, and it's at third level. It's 48.
Nice.
Uh, Wait, let me just.
It's a 15-foot cube, you said?
And it's a 15-foot cube, yeah.
Okay.
And for some reason, I don't get to roll the 4. Oh, wait. It's a 23.
23. Excellent. This actually is going to catch the edge of
Hmm.
the other head because it sort of moved past you this way. And that one failed its save by a
Hmm.
long shot. So that one's going to take 23 damage to the neck. And the one in front of you is going to sort of lower its head and you see that air as you're like growling build in density in front of you and then just boom. And as it blasts out, we see this thing just take the brunt on the top of its head, and then you see it slowly raise its angry eyes at you. Uh, Anything else for Drummer?
No, I cast it onto the lake, so because it says that all uh, items that would have been pushed away, but
Yeah.
no, that's it.
Okay.
Then it ends my turn.
Great. Analoth, you've got a head just a few feet, about 8 feet away from you now, starting to come back in. Looks like it's going for another chomp. What would you like to do as you see this head get sort of buffeted by this thunder wave and then start seeking out its target again, which would be you?
I want to move like 30 feet away from it.
Okay. Do you want to move into the trees?
Uh,
Do you want to move of the tree? What's your vibe?
I actually want to move towards Drummer so that we're closer and just kind of. So I would be like near closer to the
Sort
beach
of
at this
flank,
point.
yeah,
I
sort of
think.
flank around back of Drummer towards the edge of the beach.
Yeah.
Excellent. Cool. You can do that.
Okay. I also want to manifest my echo and put it 15 feet in front of me towards the dragon that I pissed off, or the the draconic head that I pissed off.
Very good. What does it look like, your echo?
Look exactly like me.
Okay. I didn't know if there was any deviation. I know it's usually supposed to be rules as written
Uh,
here. Just curious.
mm, oh, it's translucent.
Okay.
It looks like me, but it's translucent.
Got it. Sweet. Was that a bonus action?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
bonus action to summon it.
Very good. Yeah, to your right, drummer, you see, and in front of you a little bit, you see a carbon copy, ethereal in nature. What else, Analoth?
I'm gonna have the echo attack.
Lovely. Excellent. Roll me up that attack.
Okay. That's a nat one.
Nice. That's very exciting. Anything else for Analoth?
I technically have another action to try again, I guess.
Well, you get 2 attacks per action. So if you're trying
Right.
to attack, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Okay, that's 21 to hit.
That is definitely going to hit. What is that damage?
It's 9.
9 damage. That's not nothing. Excellent. As does an 18 hit the echo?
Uh, yes.
Okay. We see this second head just go like diving down and just almost completely envelop this echo, just slamming the end of its jaws into the dirt. And there's like a splash of wet soil and grass, and it chomps down. And it's gonna be 14 points of damage to the echo.
This thing has 1 hit point.
Okay.
There's no more echo.
There's no more echo. But while it's still inside, what's it attacking with?
The echo?
Yeah.
It was using my longbow.
Okay. Yeah, as we see this mouth open up and start to move down, we see that first shot is just like way wide from that head. And then we see your echo sort of close their eyes and draw that ethereal bow again. And you can see as its head hits the ground, a thin wisp of gray shoots up through the back of this thing's head. And as it brings its mud covered face up, chunks of grass and whatnot falling out of its mouth, it reels backwards and its eyes go bloodshot. Anything else for Analoth?
Nope, that's it.
It's Hydra time. First things first, does a 16 hit drummer?
Yes, even a 16 hits strong.
All right. Let's get a little nibble on. That is going to be no small damage. Bonus plus 5. That is going to be another 13 points of damage as this head bites you on the other side of your body as it's coming back down. And as it comes down, Analoth, you see that second head come up over its buddy and rush towards you. And Drummer, it is your turn again. What would you like to do?
Well, just very quickly, I nod over to Analoth, as I always love it when you do that thing with the echo. It gives me a sense of pride. Get it? Get it? But then I turn to the dragon's heads again, and well, I'm almost in full panic mode here, and I'm going for the thing that I know that does the most damage that I do, and that's my thunder wave. I'm using another bardic inspiration here for another round of unsettling words.
Nice.
So, well, first you used the lake to get me wet. Now you use my blood to get me wet. But I'm still standing. It's like, did you go to the dentist and have your teeth replaced with some? I don't know what it is. Is that what a cow uses to eat grass in your mouth? And
that guy's gonna be insulted. Yeah, that's good.
mhm. And so that's the unsettling words, and then it's another. Yeah, I'm using my second third level slot to cast Thunderwave at third level again.
Nice.
hmm So that's a con 16 save again.
Roll me up that D8.
Yeah. And it's a 1 this time.
Nice. Well, that's not too shabby. because he ended up with a 15.
Okay.
And let me roll for the second head here. The second head got a nat 20. And so he's going to save from that one. What's the damage on the first guy's head?
It's just 12 this time from the thunder wave.
12 damage from that. That first head does not look great. It is starting to bleed from the ears and the mouth. The second head doesn't look quite as bad, but it is obviously taken some damage as well. Anything else for Drummer?
No, that's much.
Analoth.
Where are the heads located right now?
Yeah, there's one that's just to your right and ahead, biting at Drummer. The other one is rising up, sort of like crossing over to. It's looking at you, kid, and is still dropping chunks of dirt and mud and grass out of its face as it rushes towards you.
Oh, okay. I think I want to move 20 feet directly away from the mud face one.
Okay.
And then I will summon my echo and set it 15 feet in front of me again.
Okay. Excellent.
And
can your Echo Knight make opportunity attacks?
I think so.
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Let's see. Yeah, if
yes, it can make opportunity attacks.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Can you use Bardic Inspiration on the first, like, for the to hit roll?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's pretty much any. I guess it depends on the type of bard, but you can almost always use it on an attack roll. Yeah.
Okay. I want to combine it with my sharpshooter.
Nice.
So that's a D8.
Correct.
Okay. Just cancels out. Okay. Let's see. Oof. 11 to hit.
11?
Yeah. I mean, come on. It's definitely gonna hit.
11. And 11. No. 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 Nope.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And 11 wouldn't hit me.
You don't know that.
I do. I do very much so. My armor class is at least 13. I'm more dexterous than people expect for a fat guy.
All right. I'll try to hit it again.
Okay.
From my echo, because I'd rather look at that than me. Holy shit! It's another 11, bro. All right, I'm good. It's your turn.
Bad. Hey guys, hide your heads. It's what's happening. Hey, does a 25 hit your Echo Knight?
Yeah.
Say goodbye to your Echo Knight.
That's fine.
That being said, this time it as these wisps of arrows sort of just splash against this thing's face, leaving puffs of smoke. It is not as enthusiastic as it was last time. It's learned its lesson not to go face into the ground after this thing. And so it sort of scoops along the ground, or just sort of above the ground, and bites this thing. And as it does, it is moving towards you at an alarming speed. And the second head is going to turn and see this first head going for you, and it's going to look at you too. And Drummer, you're going to get an opportunity attack as this thing goes past you, seeking out Analoth as its quarry. And a 25 to hit is probably going to do it for Analoth, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. It's not max damage. It's just 14 points of bitey damage. As one head is skirting the ground, and the other one pulls away from Drummer, and almost like bumps that head out of the way to bite you. And Drummer, how'd you do on that opportunity attack? Oh, muted. Control D.
Yeah, I had a 25 to hit with a
Nice.
rapier,
Very good.
but only 6 piercing damage.
6 piercing damage on head number 2. Excellent. That's not nothing. As that sword goes in and comes out, there's just like a stream of blood that goes past you as this head twists around and tries to bite successfully at Analoth. But you can see that there's still blood leaking out of the neck of this thing. You can also see that the body of this thing is almost entirely out of the water now, and about 10 feet away from you to the right. And it is your turn, Drummer. What would you like to do?
Well, even though it didn't attack me this turn, it's I think I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery,
Okay.
so that it has disadvantage um, next turn when it tries to attack me.
Okay.
But then let me just look it up. I think there is a small. Oh yeah, and if it fails a Wisdom saving throw, there's a 1d4 psychic damage,
Nice.
and let me just, because I don't have Vicious Mockery, I didn't know about the open spell book,
It's
so
okay.
I don't have it.
You don't
I
have
don't
to
have it in
prepare
D&D
it.
Beyond.
I think it's a wisdom saving throw. What's your save DC?
Yeah.
Is it 13? I think it's 16.
It's 16 for wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna fail.
Yeah. Okay, so then that's, well, I just a D4. Oh, that's nice. That's a 4.
Okay.
And I just tell it that when I was a little cub, my mother used to put Hydra flesh into my porridge so that I would get used to the bad taste. And well, you have not only your flesh has bad taste, you have bad taste in general. Attacking this beach, and it's you were going for the children. You didn't know that there were some cool cats who could fend you off easily.
Okay.
Here.
All right. Fine. Take
Yeah.
advantage. Take inspiration, please. Take inspiration.
Okay.
That's beautiful. I love it. So inspiration, any D20 roll that you're like, I don't like that, you can re-roll, as long as I haven't told you how it resolves.
Okay. Well, and as a bonus action, I only have 2 bardic inspiration slots left, but I look at Analoth and I say, we really are 2 cool cats, and you go get them, Tiger.
Nice.
And I give him another bardic inspiration.
Sounds phenomenal. Good job. Analoth, you're up. You got 2 two Hydra heads, very excited to devour you, right in front of you. What would you like to do?
Uh,
They're
let's
hungry
see.
for your cat flesh.
It doesn't taste good. How close are they? I know they're pretty close, but how close?
You can feel hot, like breath, that is very, very pungent, rich with that sweet umami of rotten dead fish deep in its guts. It's that close.
Right.
It's right. There's one right here that just bit you, and another one right here, and they're sort of butting heads as to who's going to get to eat what end of you first.
Okay. I think with that, I'd like to disengage.
That sounds like a great plan. Boy, howdy. If only. Great. You disengage while these two heads are sort of knocking against one another. Are you moving away? How far are you moving?
uh, Behind my favorite meat shield drummer, about
Okay.
40 feet.
Uh, Sweet. This is interesting. Okay, as you start to strafe to the right, you see these heads still sort of like almost nipping at one another, trying to eat you. And as you do, they start to raise up and look around. One of them has been mocked viciously. And does the vicious mockery go to anyone attacking, or is it just have disadvantage on attacks against you? Mutant.
I fear it's just attacks against me.
Okay, very good.
Mhm.
So Anilov, anything else you want to do there? I think. Can you? Do you have enough levels in Rogue to disengage the bonus action?
I don't think so.
Okay. Couldn't remember if that was third level.
Oh, no. Excuse me. It says it has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. So there was.
So we have not gotten to that attack yet. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So action, disengage, movement, bonus action.
Yeah, I'll summon my echo again.
Okay. Where do you put it?
Um, Probably just 15 feet ahead of me.
Okay. You can. There's a couple of long, like 30-foot long necks here. So it could be anywhere along the neck, sort of at the base of where the two necks join this bulbous body, is about where Drummer is standing right now. And the body, Drummer is probably 3 times taller than you. You're about the height of the foreleg of this thing. It's not intimidating at all. And sweet. Does the Echo Knight attack on the bonus on its summon? Or do you use your
No,
action
it
to
can
do
only
that?
use my attacks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Then it's Hydra time, everyone. How very exciting. I'm very happy. Do, 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 do. Yeah, da, 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 da. That's very exciting. Why not? Why not, guys? That's interesting. As these two heads sort of entwine and butt up against one another, its front left leg lifts up, and it does have. It sort of has a combination of both webbed and clawed feet, and it pulls this big, huge claw out of the mud, and tries to step down on you, Drummer. And as it does, you realize what's about to happen. It does miss you as it goes to sort of stamp you down into the mud. And you see those two heads start to twist upward. And then the one that you had mocked, you see him sort of bite at the other neck just hard enough to get the other one away, and actually does end up doing a little bit of damage to that other head, which I have to roll now. And that's going to be 10 points of damage. And both these heads look real bad, guys. They don't look great. And Drummer, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Are they still close by and close together?
You are right beside the body. The necks,
Okay.
the necks are
Mhm.
like right there. They're like right
Yeah.
there, where they both come together, and they're both sort of like twisted upwards. Their
Ah,
heads are about 30 feet away.
okay. Still, I'm going out on a limb. I use my last instant of bardic inspiration for another round of unsettling words. Because now that you said that the smell of rotten fish
Oh,
was
yeah. Oh
omnipresent,
God, so much so.
and
It's like somebody
I mean,
just opened a fresh thing
mhm,
of Gravlox in
yeah.
the house.
So, well, you have been left hanging in the air for in the sun for too long. You might be a delicacy somewhere up north, but here in the south, it's really just something that you would throw away. Guys, just lay down and die already. And I oh no, I have another third level spell slot, and I cast Thunderwave for last time at third level.
Magnificent. Um, great. Let's do some saves here. The first head got a 21, um,
And I have a 6 on the D8.
which is going to put it below your saving throw threshold. The second head got an 18,
Hmm.
and the body got a 14.
Okay.
Because all three of those are going to end up getting hit.
Oh, okay, great. The Thunderwave does 21 damage.
Very nice. That one's going to take another 10 points of damage here. And this one, you said how many? 21?
21. Yeah.
Amazing. That first head, you see that neck start to go limp and
Hmm.
sort of uncurl limply from the other one, and splash down into the mud. And it The other one looks down
Hmm.
and begins to scream. I mean, it is. You see birds on the far side of the lake take off in just huge murmurations, just like everybody's out. And It's pretty terrifying. Anything else for Drummer?
No, that ends my turn.
Analoth.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep hitting it because it's been working so far. Sometimes. Let's see. 16 to hit.
16 is going to hit.
It's 9 points of damage.
9 points of damage. Great. Okay, and
I have bardic inspiration, don't I?
You do have bardic inspiration.
Okay, then
A
I
D8.
wanna use that again on my roll to hit with my sharpshooter. Let's try this one more time. All right, well that adds a one, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh lord.
Uh, oh, well, it was a nat 20. Um,
Oh.
so
Uh,
that's
fantastic. The way I like to do that is once you've doubled your dice, just max it out.
uh,
So it should be 2d8 plus 4 if I'm not mistaken.
yeah,
Nice. 20 points of damage. Plus your sharpshooter bonus.
which is 10.
So 30 points of damage. This came from your Echo Knight.
Yeah.
Magnificent. Yeah, you see as that head is reeling, we see the echo of you reach up and just draw like straight up. And as it fires, you see it hit deep in the neck and go up between a couple of plates of large scales. And this thing is still just like screaming until you see that arrow looks like it is something that came out of a ballista. And as this thing begins to come back down, we see a huge bolt of black energy pass through the top of this thing's head. And we see its eyes sort of look forward and then sort of go in different directions as it twists down and falls into the water, splashing, sending up a wave of water in either direction and raining down droplets over the both of you. And good job, everybody. Congratulations. Very nice. There's a huge beast. You see its knees start to buckle, and its tremendous, huge body and this long tail just sort of sink into the shore on the side of this lake.
Yeah, I look over at Analog and I just give him a weak applause because I was like, man, that was great. I was about spent here. I didn't know what to do next, but I think I started hallucinating for a bit because did you call me meat shield during that encounter?
No, I would never.
Ah,
That was the wind.
yeah,
Um,
because usually you know that 5 minutes after I have to drag my drum set around, I start whining and moaning that it's too heavy and that I don't have the strength, the physical strength to carry all these drums. And
uh,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, if you need help carrying your drums, I could just carry them for you.
yeah, it's a uh, you know
Oh, you just
I,
rather whine?
yeah, and well, it looks like I have to repair them first. It's
Oh, you're right.
well,
Okay.
yeah,
What's you guys' passive perceptions?
um,
Um, 11.
it's 14.
Okay. Yeah. As the two of you are conversing, you hear a squelching sound from behind you, drummer. And as you turn around, you see this just positively disturbing image. You see the head sitting in the mud about 30 feet away from you. And it sounds and looks like it's tearing itself in twain. It's very disturbing because you start to see the scales split and you see blood running out of this thing's
Mm-hmm.
mouth and nostrils. And then you see that neck start to split down the middle as well. And it's very unnerving. And when it gets to about 10 feet from the base of the neck, you see two smaller heads rise up. And then you see two more smaller heads rise up out of the water and look towards the two of you.
I look at Annalette and say, I can't believe. No, no, this isn't happening.
They're so small.
Shall we just,
I mean, compared to this one, not necessarily compared to us.
but shall we just ditch it? I mean, shall we just run?
Uh, I mean, yeah, running sounds nice. We should. I don't know how many more of those things are in there. We should probably leave.
Yeah, as you say that, you see both of these necks rise up now with two heads apiece. They're smaller for sure, but they are no less terrifying, especially since each one has a buddy now. And let's get some dexterity saving throws. How's that sound?
Mhm. Oh, that's great. It's a 23.
Very good, very good.
13,
How much for Analoth?
10.
A 10. 10.
Mhm.
Fantastic for Analoth. Uh, Analoth has an 18 versus your armor class.
Yeah, that hits me.
Okay. You're going to take 9 points of damage as two of these heads, just sort of like one towards your back legs, and one towards your more human appearing body, and both sink their teeth in and actually start to like wrestle you off the ground a little bit as they're trying to pull you in opposing directions. Um, Drummer, what would you like to do? Analoth's about 5 feet off the ground.
Yeah, I mean, uh, ta-da. Let me just. I think I'm going to. I just have to look something up.
Oh yeah,
How?
take your time.
Yeah. No, I'm going to
Yeah,
cast.
don't feel
I'm
rushed.
going to cast sleep at second level because I still have a second level spell slot
Interesting, very
uh,
good.
on the one or the two heads because
Mm-hmm.
it's should two heads should be in the range that are currently chomping on Analoth.
Nice. What is the total range? Is it 30 feet?
It's the range is 90 feet.
Okay,
And then it's a 20-foot radius from the point I choose.
excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
And then it's 78 hit points that I can send to sleep. So let's see. Or do you want to roll it or shall I
Yeah, it's
roll
all
the
you. That's your
uh,
sleepy time damage.
7? And that's good. That's 32.
32.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. As you cast sleep, it works for once. Uh,
Okay.
sleep is like my second least favorite spell in Dungeons and Dragons. But this was I would say, inspired opportunity to use it
Mm-hmm.
as both of these heads start to rump. And I gotta say, Analoth, it is a very uncomfortable situation because you are in the mouth of two sleeping Hydra heads. Their teeth are still fixated into your flesh. Can I get a dexterity check or acrobatics check or athletics check? Something to try and get out of this thing's mouth without taking further damage. Or mouth is plural, I apologize.
I got a nat 20 on acrobatics.
Ooh, look at you.
Uh,
As those mouths start to flop, we see you twist away, and by the time both of them hit the mud, as you look out, drummer, you see Analoth standing there like nothing happened.
and I have to tell you, I rather have my audience awake and hate me than be that like this monster when I perform, then be asleep. But this is like calling for desperate measures, so that it had to be sleep. And
I love it.
yeah,
Uh,
but that ends my turn also.
Very good. Analoth, it is your turn. There are two more non-sleepy Hydra heads coming up out of the water from that second neck. And they're sort of like fighting as to who's going to eat who. What would you like to do as that second set of heads rears their ugly heads?
Uh, Drummer, did you still want to run, or are we gonna sit here and handle this?
I mean, Hadley, do I know anything about hydras? Do I know that?
Why don't you roll me a
Will
nature or arcana check, please?
um,
Either one of those would be acceptable.
well, it's a 4 on nature.
A 4 in nature. This is
Mhm,
not a naturally occurring animal,
mm,
and does not seem to follow the normal laws of physics that when you kill a thing, it stays dead.
mhm. And a lot, as much as I like a large audience, and this is a self-growing audience, I think it's too much to handle for us. I think we just I just gotta grab my drums and we just get out of here. I mean, the people are all off the beach, right?
Yes, they have managed to scatter, move into the trees, or move northward.
Mhm.
In fact, the sound of their screams and cries and hurried nature has diminished as the call of birds sort of rose up and has now receded into the distance as well.
Okay. Let's see. How far are the non-sleeping heads right now?
They are uh, right there. There's one right there. There's one right there. They're boom, bam, 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 bam.
Okay.
They are much
Can I?
smaller now. Only one part of your of your body would fit into their mouths instead of all of you at this point.
Well, that's reassuring, I guess. I My night is still up. I just wanted to just slowly meander away to try and draw their attention.
Okay.
Um, well,
How,
we
is there a limit on how far the echo can go from you?
yeah, it disappears at 30 feet.
Okay.
So it'll start, and then as we're going away, it'll disappear.
Okay. Beautiful. Roll me a deception check, please.
Okay. Mm, Yeah, it's a 4.
Awesome. Very good. And are you sticking around or you're running, right?
Yeah, am I able to pick up drummer while I
Roll me a
move?
strength check or athletics check.
Oh, yeah, definitely not strength. We'll go with athletics.
Well, okay.
Oh well, I mean, you can stay there. That's not one.
Beautiful. This works out in a lot of ways for me as I sort of saw this going. And that is that you rush over to Drummer. And as you do, You see these two alert heads. The neck of the other one and the two heads are sort of draped, the body rising up over here. And Drummer, you're sort of right here at the base of that neck. And
Mm-hmm.
you see these two heads come up. And one of them looks this way
Mm-hmm.
towards the echo, and the other one looks and sees the two of you and makes a hissing and spitting noise, and that second head looks down and then looks towards the two of you and then looks over, and then both of those heads look at you guys. And they're going to try and bite you. So the let's see here. The first one is going to absolutely miss against Drummer with an 8 versus armor class.
Mm-hmm.
And the second head got a natural 1. And I would like to give both of you an opportunity attack as that first head sort of comes in and bites just like a little bit too early as that other head was rearing up. And as you guys are just starting to get out of the way of that first head, that second head is sort of like being pulled down. And can I get can I get opportunity attacks with advantage since you're going to be flanking this head as it moves past you?
Yeah, with advantage, it's great. That's a 25 then.
Magnificent.
And it's seven damage with my rapier.
7 slashing damage. Okay.
I got 24 to hit.
Nice.
That's 11 damage.
Was that with your sneak attack?
No.
Oh, well then.
It's 2 for sneak attack.
2 for sneak attack. With that, this head starts to reel back, and you can see how much easier these smaller heads are to damage. It doesn't die, but you can see it is literally just hanging on by sinew and bone right now as it starts to like limply and twitchingly retract. And Drummer, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
Well, even seeing how easy they are to damage, I look at Analoth and I point towards the trees and start to move in that direction. And as long as he doesn't give me a sign, no, we turn back and finish them, because I don't think personally that we can finish them. I think that they will just grow and grow until the whole beach is covered with tiny little worms, and that'll be gross. And so I had for the tree line.
Magnificent.
Mhm.
I
Do I have to disengage? Are they so close that
no, I think that that sort of they sort of like strike and
I? Okay.
pull back
Mm-hmm.
unless
Mm-hmm.
they really sink into you. So if you want to move away, you could do that as those two heads sort of
Mm-hmm.
reel and hiss at one another. And Anloth, it's your turn.
Yeah, I would also like to move towards the tree line.
Okay. As the two of you are making your way into the trees, you look back and you see the body of this thing start to turn. But as it does, you see the sleeping heads sort of limply dragging, causing quite the impediment to this creature. Those two smaller heads, one of them weakly growls and hisses, and the other one makes a sort of a screaming noise that's more akin to a chirp because its pitch is so high. And as they do, you realize that as long as those other two heads stay asleep, you'll probably be okay. But yeah, getting out of here probably isn't a bad idea in the slightest.
Yeah, let's bounce.
Yeah, I'm almost out of spells, and I I was running out of options fast there.
As the two of you sort of move through the trees, it doesn't take very long for you to find your way back to that well trodden path. And once you're on it, it also doesn't take very long for you to start to see some of these other civilians that are huddled together. There's children crying. There's fathers consoling their children and wives. There's people bringing children back who'd run off into the woods and reuniting them with their parents. You see dogs still barking towards this creature as if they would not simply get caught in its teeth. But as they see the two of you begin to approach, the sounds of their torment and frustration and fear begin to subside somewhat at the sight of both of you, bleeding a lot, puncture wounds from teeth, damaged drums, no shortage of injury and fatigue as the two of you make your way back towards the caravan. And a man steps forward and puts his hand on Drummer's shoulder. And he literally reaches down and grabs the bottom of one of those drums and starts to like lift to take some of that weight off of your shoulders. And he says, How did you survive that thing?"
Well, we are fearsome feline fighters, and we fend off foes. Oh man, I'm hurting so bad.
All across favor.
Uh,
Yes.
I look at him and it's like it was instinct kicking in, and we just wanted you all to be safe, and then they started damaging my drums, and then it became personal.
Nice. A woman steps forward, and she's a little bit older, slightly hunched. She looks at you with a little bit of shock that you are still in mostly one piece. And she reaches into her clearly stuffed robes, and she pulls out a jar and starts to shake this mossy green, thick fluid into her hand, and just like packs it into a couple of those bite marks. It does not feel good at all. You are going to take 5 points of healing
Mhm.
from that, but it is an exceptionally painful experience. It does feel like you just took another tooth and shoved it back into the same hole, and it burns. uh,
Out of out of instinct, I lick it.
it tastes like you just scooped up mud from the bottom of that lake and went,
Mm.
yeah, it is very earthy. It has a tarry sort of, um, can't even remember what it's called, base to like hold it together.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's not phenomenal, but it does help ease your wounds
Mhm.
or heal your wounds a little bit there. And she looks over at Analoth as well. And when she looks at Analoth, uh, she was already pretty shocked to see a cat person, but to see a cat person, she's a little taken aback, and it's hard for her to hide that.
Well, that's just rude. I mean,
And then she starts to
I didn't mean that
shake
at her
this
wrinkles.
poultice
No, no, no,
into her
no.
hand.
The
No,
way he reacted,
I
I want no part of
no
it.
no.
No,
Sheila, you've
no.
done great
Mm-mm,
things to
that's
save
okay.
our
I'll
people.
pass.
She's trying to chase you around now. Um,
She's not going to catch me.
I
She's old.
No, she got a 4 in her acrobatics check. She can't catch you. And she she oh, fine, fine. I was just trying to be nice. Um, and the gentleman who was helping lift the drums, he says, "Let's Did you kill that thing?"
It's hard to say. I mean, you saw the first heads coming out of the water, these large heads.
Huh?
We killed those, but then it started growing little heads again, not as dangerous. We, well, we damaged them, but I'm afraid we this thing is not for us to be killed. I don't know. Maybe. Well, no, I don't know. I'm at a loss here.
As soon as I say I'm at a loss here,
Mhm.
you hear a discordant shriek, and as you look, as everyone else's attention sort of rises to look, we see you flanked by 4 heads. The body is stuck against the trees on the shoreline, but we see these 4 heads now screaming, and as they do, everybody loses their shit. And you see again children running. The heads, I want to be very clear, can't get to you. They're still about 20 feet back, and they're just sort of gnashing and screeching. And you see everybody's just like, nope, gotta go. A guy gets on his horse and is just like this, and the rest of these folks begin to sort of break camp as well and start rushing away, leaving the two of you and an old lady hobbling to keep up with this caravan.
They look pretty stuck to me. Is this the old lady with the paste, though?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, I was gonna help, but uh,
But
I mean, they're stuck.
racism.
Well, that, and I don't trust her to not try to put paste on me.
No, she's gonna try and put paste on you. That's her love language.
Ew. Kind of.
Uh,
Uh,
Honestly,
drummer.
you know what? I spent a first level slot and I cast Longstrider on her.
oh, nice. That's delicious. Um, yeah, very quickly, as you guys are beginning to walk, you see this old woman, and she does not realize at first what's going
Mhm.
on. And you see her hobbling with her cane, and then all of a sudden, she can't put her cane down
Mhm.
fast enough to keep up, and she's walking at a rate of speed that's a little brisk for what you would expect. She's actually outpacing you guys as she's double moving, and then you start to see her outpacing the people in front of her, and then you see one of the horses that the guy was on. And they're just sort of trotting along, and this old woman just is like bum, 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 rushing past him as well. And he looks down from his horse and looks back at the two of you, and we can just see these heads in the background still screeching and screaming, and biting and knocking down branches and stuff like that. And as they clearly move far outside of any space that would be at risk, we begin to see this Hydra retreat back down into this marshy shore and slip quietly into the water of this lake.
Yeah, someone should put a no fishing sign at that beach.
That old woman was never heard from again.
I'm afraid her heart's gonna give out any moment now if she keeps that up.
Oh no,
But then
that was
again, you
fast.
know, that's for racism, no?
Uh, yeah.
That's for the racism. Yeah, as we follow this path northward and westward, we see this group, this smaller sort of caravan that had broken away, starts to move towards what is obviously a much larger crowd. And as you break out of the trees, headed towards towards Refuge Bay and the town of Ishao, you step out and there is a long, creamy, sandy beach. It is glistening in the sunlight, and you can see that there are a number of small boats, dinghies, and rafts that people are clamoring onto 10, 15 at a time, and are being rowed out to a number of waiting ships. And it takes a moment for you to realize, but you got cat ears. So the two of you notice before anyone else. And that is a faint humming sound, almost a buzz, like when you hear that ringing in your ears. And as the two of you, your ears perk up, you look up towards the sun, and silhouetted, you see a very irregular shape, shadowed, or sort of casting a shadow onto the two of you, and it is moving down towards you from the air.
But it's not a creature. It's just a shape.
Yeah, it looks a little rectangular. The ends of it seem to be unevenly cut and sort of softer, and the ends.
And on its current trajectory, it would land right on us.
Not too far
Or
from you.
and are there people?
Actually, most of the people at this point have sort of moved down onto the beach, away from the trees. You guys are
Hmm.
definitely sort of bringing up the rear of this coterie. And as this thing starts to come lower, you can hear that whooshing like you're listening to a conch shell. And as it begins to set down in the sand, you see that it looks like stones from a castle. And as it sort of comes to a rest in the sand, you can see it looks like the mortar in this is more of a sienna brown color than of more of a concrete looking mortar. And it's only about 10 feet away from you. And you can see that earthen sort of mortar is still moving. You can see the veins of like glistening mica in whatever that material is moving as if pumped by a circulatory system. The building, the structure, you're not quite sure. You've never seen anything like this except in a building. Um, it's about 240 feet long. It's tremendous. It's about 60 feet wide. And as you are sort of taking in the grandiosity of this structure that just came out of the air, you hear a voice from overhead, and it says, "Hello there, I'm Bios."
I look up and I did you just land that here,
Oh, well,
Bios?
yeah. And as you look
Uh,
up, you see about a 2.5 foot tall, uh, sort of like oiled bronze looking machine with round illuminated eyes, and shiny body and sort of short limbs, and um, she looks down and waves. Yeah, it's my ship.
oh, you're beached now.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I want to be on the beach.
That was an impressive feat of just landing that thing here without hurting anyone and squishing any people.
Oh, were there
Hello.
people around? And she starts to look back and forth.
Oh, that was just sheer luck. Oh, good. Anyway,
Oh,
well, I look at Analoth. I mean, she looks friendly, harmless, and strange.
Oh, I'm anything but harmless.
oh,
Um, oh well, we are not harmless either. We can fend for ourselves and the good people here on this beach. But say, is there anything we can help you with?
Um, the refugee crisis would be great. Um, uh, you guys have blood on you.
Yeah, we
uh,
there was a
I mean, that's
Hydra.
because we're not harmless and we're very strong. And
Hmm.
please don't crush us with your ship.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to roll a deception check when you say that you're strong?
It's
I
not
think.
deceptive.
Well, oh, it's a 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, I start to flex, and I have this way where just the fur
Nice.
starts to raise up, and it's not it's because there are hardly any muscles, and it's just the fur moving, so I flex a little bit.
Ooh, that's impressive. Um, actually, there might be a lot that you could help me with. Hang on just a second. And you hear sort of metal on stone, very quick
Hmm.
succession. And then you hear sort of more distantly, and then you hear and Bios comes walking around the front of the ship. And again, she's about 2.5 feet tall. And she sort of sidles up next to you. And you better watch it. You better go try me. Try me. Try me. And looks up and says, "Pleasure to meet you. What's your name?" And reaches up to shake your hand.
Well, hello. My name is Curtis Drummer, but you can just call me Drummer. And
Curtis Drummer. Nice to meet you.
mhm.
And what about you? And she gestures up towards Analoth.
Uh, is she trying to shake my hand?
Are you asking me or are you asking Drummer?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Yeah, she's trying to
No, I'm
shake.
asking you. Oh,
Yes.
okay. So I'll have to kneel slightly so I can reach your tiny little hand way
Okay.
down there.
Very good.
Um, I'm Analoth.
A pleasure to meet you, Analoth. Would you like something for your wounds? I see you've already been tended to. And gestures towards Drummer.
Um, is there any strings attached to this help for my wounds?
No, just a needle. And while she's still holding on to your hand, you feel a whirring in that arm, and then you feel a needle poke into the palm of your hand, and it feels like you maybe stabbed it with a pencil or something like that. But then you feel your arm start to get warm, and it's not an entirely unpleasant sensation. Um, and you are going to take 20 points of healing, nearly max healing that Bios can provide. And you start to literally feel those bite holes start to close up on themselves.
Oh, thank you. That feels much better.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Um, it looks like most of the people are making their way to the ships. Would you like to come with me?
Come
Uh,
with you where?
yeah, you mentioned before that the refugee crisis was great. I mean, you mean greatly disturbing, or a great concern, or
Uh,
just great?
it is a tremendous problem in the world right now.
Ah, okay.
The mists of Ravenloft have expanded considerably over the last 6 months, and we're having to move a lot of people to keep them from being consumed by the mists.
And we is who?
Oh, uh, I'm part of the Mercenary Guild.
Oh, okay. Have I heard of the Mercenary Guild?
Let's roll me a history check, please.
Mhm.
Same for Analog.
That's a well. I'm bad at history, but that's a 14.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Analoth, you have most assuredly heard of the Mercenary Guild, and in fact, you have had personal contact with members of it previously. The Mercenary Guild is a non governmental organization that involves itself in the preservation of life on the planet of Tierra. And from acts of espionage to you heard rumors that they fought a number of gods, and one the most ridiculous of those stories was that a number of members of the Mercenary Guild fought and killed Tiamat. A stretch beyond the imagination. There are other suggestions that the Mercenary Guild deals with deities to get jobs done, and that there's a there's a sentiment that the Mercenary Guild is actually responsible for this cataclysmic overlap of all of these different planes on the planet of Tierra. There's Ravenloft over there. There's the city of Brass over there. You heard that continents across the ocean are supposedly overlapped by the Feywild and the Nine Hells and the Abyss. I mean, far too much, really, to be anything realistic. Drummer, you've definitely heard of the Mercenary Guild as well. There are people who try to trade on that name, but you it's pretty evident that those individuals aren't part of any clandestine group. They're just trying to make a quick buck. But I don't know. There is a big flying building in front of you and a little robot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to trust her because I mean, just to fly a whole building through the air just to con someone like me. I mean that sounds ridiculous. So it's, so I'm really inclined. I look at Annalise and I think I'm sure. I mean, we can go with her. I I don't think that any harm will come from us. And actually, I could just use the rest, use a little downtime, and it might be interesting. There might be a good story in there.
Oh, we're full of stories, I promise.
Uh, yeah. Uh, for now, yeah, I'll see where this goes. Just to, I don't want to fully commit yet because I did still just meet you, and you are like 2 feet of terrifying energy.
Oh, thanks.
You are most welcome.
Um, I mean, it's not really a contract deal. You guys can, we're considered independent contractors. We, you know,
So that means we don't get health insurance.
oh yeah, no, sorry. We do have medical bays available, and of course, we do our best to keep our members alive. And she sort of like raises up that right arm, and you can see that the center of it is a glass vial filled with pink liquid, and there's a plunger at the bottom that's obviously attached to a hypodermic needle that it was administered to Analoff. And she goes on and says, "Yeah, I mean, we do everything we can to help folks. And come or go, you're welcome at the Mercenary Guild." And she sort of turns on her heels in the sand and starts to walk back around the front of this airship structure.
It's safe for us to enter, even though we're not small and full of furious energy and made of fur, because static electricity and my fur. That's just it's a thing I don't like.
Yeah, it's really irritating.
Yeah,
Um, Enough jokes, boys. Get on the ship.
Okay.
And she
we do,
turns
we do.
and begins to walk up this spiral staircase from the main level to the second one. This thing's about 16 feet tall. And as you step up into this ship, you see first to your right that spiral staircase that leads up to the top deck. As you look down the corridor, you see four rooms. And as you start to move in, you feel the ship lifting up off the ground. And as you turn, you can see another round of boats coming to extract more of these refugees. And as you rise even higher up, you can see across the shining sea. And you can see a desert off in the distance to the northeast. And as you rise even higher, you can see other forests and mountains. And very quickly, you realize that you are now thousands of feet up, and you can no longer see the boats down in the shining sea retrieving these refugees. Um, can I get investigation checks from the two of you, please?
That's a 5.
Nice.
6.
No, I think maybe this is just sort of a captivating moment for the two of you, because as you're looking out, you rise high enough that you start to see over the horizon. And you start to see the bright blue of the sky, and the thin wisps of white clouds are now below you. And you can see a field of stars in the distance as you rise higher up. And as you do, there looks to be like a faint bit of frost forming on the edge of this threshold between the ship and this corridor. And you start to see a soft, like electric blue shimmer, an obvious shield between this space and the outer space. And then you begin to turn. And as you do, you see a very similar looking vehicle, except that it is more than 1,600 feet long and over 240 feet wide. It has a very similar sort of design, but it is tremendous in scale comparatively. And as you approach, you see two blue, like fields at the base at an angle. And as you approach it, let me get perception checks from the two of you.
That's a 10.
15.
Yeah, with that 10, it's you're just sort of looking, you see that shimmer of blue, and it's weirdly contrasted with this starry night. More stars than you've ever seen at once, sort of illuminating this field behind it. As you get a little bit closer, though, Analoth, you swear to God on the other side of that blue field is a purple dragon. You swear to God there is a full sized dragon, a dragon, not some dragon headed lizard thing, an actual goddamn dragon right there.
Yeah, I wanna I wanna point it out to Drummer. Like, are you seeing this? Like the purple dragon. It's not just me. It's not just me.
Oh, there is something. Actually, this is so much to take in. I'm trying to get
Are you
make a mental note for later performance of all this, but this is just too much. But this could be
are you serious? The
what?
purple dragon is. I mean, come on. It's
Yeah,
too
there's.
much for you to not appreciate the purple
Oh,
dragon.
do I finally see the purple
Yeah,
dragon now that
as
it's
you
pointed out?
as the ship continues to move closer, we see this bright blue field start to sort of warp around this ship, and as it begins its docking maneuvers, you see it turn sideways, and sure as shit, there is a full adult dragon. It is dark purple. With a similar sort of scale pattern, it's sort of a darker purple with like a lighter lavender where the scales overlap and underneath the scales. And it sort of trundles forward a couple of steps and looks at the ship and then takes a big sniff, and as it does, it takes a couple of more steps closer, and Bio sets this ship down very gently inside of this hangar. And for a moment there, you don't see the dragon or where it went, and then all of a sudden, you just see the eye of it, like looking in the doorway at the two of you, and it you hear new recruits, is it?
I guess so. I stand very straight. I try not to move. I make myself very slim.
Uh, as you sort of like stand paralyzed, you hear clunk 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 overhead, and then you hear Hirag, and you see a flash of bronze. And then you see Hireg's head sort of retract and its eye look up as high as it can. And you see that Bios is sitting on this thing's head and sort of like patting and scratching at it in a very familiar and affectionate way. And she leans down and says, or she like looks into Hireg's eye and says, "I found new folks for the guild." And Hirig sort of like turns to try and look closer at her and says, "Good. We need all the help we can get." And leans back in. And as he does, you see a curl of a smile in his lip. And he says, "Welcome to the Mercenary Guild." And that is where I'll leave you tonight.
Nice.
So,
Great.
kudos and congratulations to the both of you for the first of many episodes of the Mercenary Guild Season 6. I cannot believe that I've been doing this for well over 2 years now, 6 different seasons. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to be back at it. I'm glad to have both of you along. I do look forward to bringing in some more folks to the Mercenary
Mhm.
Guild. So if you know anybody who wants to play, let me know. And I'll be reaching out on Discord and whatnot. If you're out there watching this, somebody, and you want to play in the Mercenary Guild, please do. This will be a drop-in campaign. And so what that means is that you can change up your players from week to week. The players will stay the same, the characters may change. And so you can also develop a roster of characters. You can rework the characters that you have. If you want to use this instead of that, this gives you a chance to tweak the characters that you like and really dial them in, or play characters and builds that you wouldn't necessarily think to try. But every episode is going to be different. There will be a continuous sort of narrative underlying the season. But yeah, if you guys show up with totally new characters next week, you're welcome to. If you show up with the same ones, that's fine too. So, a pleasure having the both of you. Thank you both very much for joining me tonight. If you're out there watching, thank you for joining as well. And with that, I must bid you adieu and au revoir, and remind you, as always, to be good, to take care of yourselves, and if you can't be good, don't get caught. Good night, everybody. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. See
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Yeah. Bye. Take care.